Welcome to the call today. This is Scott Pierce at Listings to Leads, and we're going to be covering social media mastery with Listings to Leads. Today's call is going to be a little bit different. I want to cover a few things I think that will help set you up even better for success with social media mastery. And so at listingstoleads.com, if you are a client, go ahead and log into your account. If you're not, sign up for a free trial. Everything we're going to do here today can be done in a free trial. And when you log in, you're going to be on the dashboard. And if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to see new suggested ads. And these are going to be based on either the listings that you have, the statuses of those listings, if you have any, yours or borrowed, that are in your account, or if you don't have any listings. And even if you do, we're going to show other ads that are working really well. And so the idea is to have two buyer ads and two seller ads available for you right here. Now you have tons of other ads that you can launch from the ads section, but we just wanted to put them right here so that you don't have to go looking for great ads to run to generate buyer and seller leads. And I'll just show this to you how it works. I can look in, I got a listing, an open house. If you have an open house, that'll always be an option because we want to make sure that those open houses get advertised. Then I got a pending listing here. I got another just listed, and then I got the cash offer / iBuyer. So I can pick any one of these and click create ad. And as long as I went through the get started wizard, I got everything set up properly, it'll drop me right in the work area. And for an ad like this, I got it going to a lead ad. So that'll be name, email, phone number, and selling time frame with every lead. All I gotta do is type in the location. Got the special housing ad category. We brought in all of Facebook. We got the API. We got all the settings down. So you really don't have to change anything. A couple of things you could do. I can edit the text a little bit if I wanted to. Again, I recommend keep the edits at a minimum, especially in the beginning. Once you get a little bit of a track record and you have some ideas that you want to try out, feel free to edit this as you like. I can change the image. I can even put a video in here. So that image can be changed. Just click change image and video here. But again, we've got everything preset for you. And the other thing you can do, if you want to, I can take this and advertise it to a custom audience. For example, if you want to geofence your area, buy a list of all the homeowners, for example, from My Plus Leads or Batch or RedX or Vulcan 7, I can then upload them into Listings to Leads. There's a little button called create audience under ads. And then that lets me target these people. And then I literally click create ad. It's that easy. So the new suggested ads on your dashboard are going to be an awesome way for you to really quickly get in here, not have to look around, wonder what would be a good ad to run. We're going to put them right there for you. And then notice here, if you're not yet subscribed to the AI text follow-up and you don't have something dialed in like that, I can click here to subscribe. Now that's not going to subscribe me just by clicking. So I can click here. Notice they are half off and I can just click next. I'll just show you here how it works. You go next, confirm. Once you confirm, you're going to select the name of your agent. Those kind of 15 names. And so that way, when a new lead comes in with a good phone number, the AI text agent will follow up with them. And we're seeing about a 10% response rate, or I should say a 10% engagement rate, to the point where the lead will interact with the AI agent as appropriate. And we're seeing about a 10 to 20% qualification. That's a better way to put it. Where in qualification means the person, the lead, has agreed to get a call from you and that they're going to actually put in the date and time. So they may put in Thursday at 2, tomorrow afternoon, the weekend, right? They could put in anything like that. And then that will count as a qualification. You'll have the phone number. You'll have the information that was given from the lead based on the questions that were asked as well. So you'll be able to see the whole conversation. And the cool thing is, as that's happening, you're getting notified on your phone. So your phone will get the notification. I can click, I can go see the conversation in real time, see where they're at with it, and then I can reach out at any time as appropriate. So that is available. And you can see some conversations right here. Now, these aren't actual conversations, but these are very in line with how the conversations work. So take a look at that. Absolutely awesome. And so again, suggested ads, I'll show you one more. So here, for example, for one of my listings where I've got an open house, I just click create ad. Now, because this is for a listing, it even autofills the location. So it's going to autofill the location of the area. And again, all of this is editable. I can change the location. But again, I really highly recommend that you just go with the defaults that we've got. We've been doing this for over 10 years. Our average cost per buyer lead right now is about $2.50. Our average cost per seller lead for pending and sold between $10 and $15. And then like what is your home worth or cash offer? Those are coming in between $15 to $25. So buyer leads, seller leads. And again, this is for my open house, right? You can see open house in Folsom. And for example, I can come here and even say from Sunday 1 to 4 p.m. I don't have to do that because at the end of the day, what we want them to do is click on the ad to get all the information from us. So sometimes that's why we don't put in, for example, we'll say open house, but then we want them to click through to get all the information. So I'll click create ad. And again, it's like literally that easy. Within just a few seconds, I've got a Facebook lead ad for my open house or for whatever ad I'm doing launched and sent to Meta for review. And because I've got AI text follow-up or whatever follow-up you got, I'm going to have great lead engagement, good lead conversion, and start getting more business. Now, if you don't have your CRM connected to listings to leads and you want to, you can click profile. And in the profile, you can pretty much connect any CRM that you've got. There's a tab here called CRM integration. You'll see if your CRM is not listed, there's 3 options. One is they will most likely have what's called a lead forwarding email address. So you can grab that from them, drop it right here, click save, and that will send the leads then to your CRM. The email address is going to look really funky. So you're going to see that email address. You're going to think there's no way in the world that email will work. It will work. Confirm it with your CRM support if you need to. And again, drop it right here, click save, and you're going to be good. We also have API Nation, which has a ton of integrations. And you can see all, whether it's Brivity, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, Jar, KV Core, right? And then all the way down here, we got also is Zapier. So if you're into one of those people, you like Zapier, we've got hundreds, I believe, of integrations all set up. So you can see here, just an absolute plethora of integrations. And then I'll also mention that we've got listings to leads follow-up as well. So in addition to the AI text follow-up, which is an add-on, our email follow-up is absolutely free. And I'll tell you, our email follow-up is awesome. We got people even will take our email and drop it into their CRM for their own follow-up. So you can see here, I can copy the code and drop this into my own CRM. But how we work our follow-up is every other email type of situation. Every other email is going to be super, super short, like this one right here. Let's see how super short that is. All we're looking to do is ask a very pointed question to get them to respond. And so we got a series of questions that we're going to do in a specific order to help get the most likely engagement all the way down to the least likely. So we're going to start off with the questions that we think will get the most response. And then the other email, so the every other, if that made sense, we're going to be offering a PDF guide. So we know by providing a lot of value to our leads, whether it's a buyer lead or a seller lead, offering those different guides that we've got in your account to these leads is a great way, again, to offer value and engage them. So you're going to see here, I've got a offer of a safe home selling guide, of a 5 tips, first time home sellers guide right there. And these are all editable. I can deactivate, delete, edit. So if I don't want this exactly the way it is, I can come in here and I can edit it, change it. I can turn it off. I can delete it. So there's a lot, and I can even duplicate, create new follow-up campaigns and listings to leads as well. So between launching your ads, having the follow-up dialed in, getting it to your CRM or using ours, you're going to start getting a lot more leads. You're going to be able to start engaging them, and you're going to have better conversations. Does that make sense for everybody? Do you see how easy this is? Whether it's buyer leads or seller leads, to start launching some ads that are going to work well for you is now easier than ever. So let me know if everybody gets that. Wow. I really should start these webinars at 8:55 so that by the time it's 9, everybody's on here, because I get in here and I look over and I see so many more people on the call. So good to see everybody. But does that make sense for everybody? And again, we got so many more ads, but what we want to do is we don't want to overwhelm you with 100 different options. So that's why here now on the Listings to Leads dashboard, you're going to see the 4 ads that are the most likely to generate good quality seller and buyer leads for you. So again, 2 buyer ads, 2 seller ads, AI text follow-up, your follow-up, our follow-up. Let's get it dialed in. But I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach today. And that is, there's a path to success in real estate. And I got a couple of books I keep on my desk. One is Agent's Edge by Jordan Cohen. And the reason I'm bringing this book up is, as a real estate agent, obviously listings are where it's at. Because when you have listings, generating buyer leads is so easy. That's why we really stress a lot of borrowing listings to market, because when you have a listing, or even if you got your IDX, I'll show you in Listings to Leads how to take your IDX and use that to generate leads for follow-up. But having a strong listing inventory is absolutely key, because it makes everything else in real estate so much easier. And so a big way to go and get confident and get a lot more listings is have your listing presentation dialed in to the point where you are excited to go out and present to a homeowner how you can get their home sold. All right. And so to that point, the listing presentation here in Listings to Leads, you're going to see under Property Marketing Plan. And if I download, this is a general property marketing plan for the listing presentation. So when you're in front of a homeowner, this right here is meant to serve as a guide to walk through with a homeowner how you can get their home sold. And so now we can actually create this for specific properties. So I can literally add a property to my Listings to Leads account. I can give it the status of listing presentation. I can also do this for expireds and FSBOs, which we're going to get to in a minute, and see if that's taking a little bit long there to produce. There we go. So now it's downloading. And so I'm going to walk through this with you just briefly here. And then I'm going to show you the different options that you've got for creating custom ones specific to properties. But you should get dialed in on how to present this in a listing presentation setting where you got a homeowner and you're walking through how you're going to market their home. And again, that's where I got this book. I think this book is absolutely essential. And I would say it's actually required reading. If you're an agent and you want to get serious about getting listings, that book is so awesome, because I think when I was an agent just coming through, I worked for one of the top producers in San Francisco. This guy was doing 2 million was his average back in 2000, right? 4 million, 5 million. I walked into Wells Fargo one time with a commission check of over $200,000. If you've ever done that, you'll know the entire bank will come to the counter because they all want to see that check. And so depositing a check of over $200,000 into your bank account is actually something that's pretty spectacular. And nailing the listing presentation to the point where you're literally excited to get in front of a homeowner because you got this thing so dialed in is what you want to get to. And so here's what it's going to do also. It's going to help you with Listings to Leads. So not only is this going to help you become a more confident listing agent and win more listings when you present, but it's also going to help you learn Listings to Leads at the same time. And so here we walk through, and you can see we talk about paid advertising on social media marketing. We talk about the different statuses of the listing, because every time the listing changes status, we're going to rerun our marketing plan to make sure we get as many buyers as possible all the way through just sold. So that's why you can see here we got pending, right? Because even though the listing went into contract, doesn't mean we're going to stop marketing, because until all those contingencies are closed out and we are clear to close, I'm going to keep marketing your property. So that's why we got the pending stuff in there. Right, we're talking about YouTube marketing being the number one website, video website. Number two, what search engine, right? People go to Google all the time. YouTube, excuse me. Talk about print marketing, the nearby neighbor letter, and how we're more of the neighbors, because neighbors typically know people looking to buy in the area. Talk about email marketing, the database marketing. You have people in your database. Even if you've only got 5 people, with Listings to Leads, you're going to get hundreds of people a month into your database, and to the point where we want to be able to tell that homeowner that we've got hundreds of people in our database that we're going to put your property in front of that are active buyers and or sellers. And a lot of my sellers need a property to buy as well. Database marketing as well. The seller's sphere of influence. We're going to talk a little bit more about that today as well. Short form videos. That's very important in today's marketing. And of course, we got the short form video scripts for you. And even if you've got your own, you're still going to want to talk about that with the homeowner, because you do not want to go into a listing presentation against another agent who's using this, because this is going to win it. All right, talk about the listing websites and virtual tours. And again, you've got the ability to create this for the specific property where every image in this presentation is of that homeowner's property. Could you imagine being able to present this to a homeowner where every single image on here, the address on here, is of their property? I'll throw that to you here in a little bit, and you can literally clean up every listing presentation. Now, here's where it gets really good. When you get to this page in the listing presentation and you're in front of a homeowner and you have them scan that QR code, their listings, their single property website for their home will literally come up on the phone. And now this is the general one. So this one here obviously will not be of their home, but when they scan this for their listing presentation, it's going to have their home right there. Absolutely awesome. QR code, again, they can scan that. Talk about recent frequency. Then we're going to talk about the different statuses. Now, if you can't do coming soon, then I wouldn't print that page, right? If you're going to print this up, for example, a lot of people do, they will create this presentation for the specific property, and then they will print it up. So just don't print the pages that you don't want to include. Does that make sense? So when I go to File, Print, I can do Pages Custom, and then I can just start saying 1 through 17, 18 through 26, or 19, right? That would make more sense. So that way I'm not going to print page 18. So if there's any page on here that you don't want, don't worry about it. Just don't print it when you go to when you're going to print this up to prepare the actual presentation of it, or when you're going to go talk to the homeowner. Make sense? So if there's any page in here that you don't want, just don't include it. You can see we're going to talk about just listed. We're going to talk about active marketing. And the reason why we have all these different statuses is because we got different tools with different call to actions for every status. I'm going to do a Facebook ad. I'm going to send a notification to my database. I'm going to do a short form video. We get the idea. I'm going to send an email to you. I'm going to do a different social media post for every single status, right? A little bit of different call to action. You might use a different image template. And so that way we're going to reinvigorate the advertising all the way through the course of this listing. So there's my open house marketing, my pending marketing. And again, if you don't do open houses, then just don't print up the page, right? So we've got everything in here though, right? Marketing to just sold. That's awesome. Talk about weekly traffic reports. And then if you got your client review website set up with Listings to Leads, we'll have that there as well. And then we got some PDF guides being offered. Absolutely awesome. And then we got our end. So this can be prepared at the property level. If you got a listing presentation coming up, I'm going to show you in a minute how to prepare that for a specific property, whether it is a standard listing presentation or you're going to meet with an expired homeowner, or you've used listings to leads for marketing to FSBOs. And now you're going to be at the point where you can talk to the FSBO about getting their home sold instead of just offering them the marketing tools from listings to leads to engage with them over the course of them trying to sell their property. Now, if we look at this entire section, we're going to notice we've got a landing page. We got a pre-listing packet. So this is a 4-page version of the property marketing plan. We've got Facebook ads. And so the idea here is this is a great seller module to generate seller leads as well. You saw we got pending listings, sold listings, right? We can market pending and sold in general to our audience, which we cover on in our Tuesday calls sometimes. But this also is another great seller lead capture module within listings to leads. And so you can see here, in fact, I'll tell you what's great about this one. And I was talking to a client a couple of weeks ago. Notice how this ad right here under listing presentation is set up a little bit differently than a lot of them. So you're going to see here, the objective is video views. So that's a little bit different. And there's a video here playing by default. You don't see that a lot in listings to leads, but for this one you do. And the reason why this ad in particular is so different from all the other ones, including a daily budget of $1, right? That's nuts. But what you're going to notice here is custom audience. So you want to use this one with a custom audience. And so the idea here is I'm going to upload my database. And if I've got a list of all the homeowners in my area, I can upload these files into listings to leads, which I'll show you in a minute. In fact, you can do it right here. See where it says that blue button, create audience? If you click that, you can upload your database file and this other file that you can get from My Plus Leads or Fulcon 7 or RedX. And you can upload these, and you'll see the CSV file would be email, phone number, first name, last name. Now it'll take a couple of days, so you can't upload it and then run the ad right away. So you'd have to create the audience, come back in a few days or when you're notified, because it will take Facebook a few days to match that spreadsheet with the profiles in Facebook. But when that's done, now I can put this in front of all of those people for $1 a day. All right, so I got percolating strategy here where as I've got leads in my database or homeowners in my area, I want them all to see this ad. And I don't want to spend $20 a day or $5 a day. I want to be able to spend $1 or $2 a day so that this thing percolates. So these people are always going to see this call to action here, right? About getting top dollar for your home with our 100-point home marketing plan. So this is a great ad to run, but you better be dialed in with your listing presentation. So when I start getting seller leads, I want to make sure that I am so dialed into my listing presentation and I am so dialed in to be able to meet and have great calls with homeowners that when I generate these leads, I am excited to engage with them. The worst thing that you can do is be apprehensive or not as confident as you should be with that listing presentation. And again, if you haven't gotten this book called The Agent's Edge from Jordan Cohen, I highly recommend it. I've actually read it a few times and I've got the audiobook, and I'm not even an agent, but I just love the way he talks through social media. He does a great job with it, but also talking about how to talk to sellers in a way that is going to set you up as the expert, I think, in a way that most other agents fail to do. So again, The Agent's Edge, Jordan Cohen, take a look at it. I think a lot of the things he talks about go really well with the philosophy of listings to leads here. And so you can see, I got Google ads. So if you're into doing Google, our Google ad platform is really one of the best. I can see here, Folsom, California, same message, right? Same call to action. Obviously a very different format because it's now a Google search ad instead of a Facebook ad. And plus here, that defaults to $20 a day, and that's a minimum. So Google is pretty expensive, but these are leads that are coming, that are searching you out. So there's going to be a different quality, going to be a very high quality lead, because these are people they're only going to see your ad if they literally type in one of the keyword phrases that would bring up the ad itself. So these are very high intent people. So if you got the budget and you're into doing Google, highly recommend that. Our Google platform is really good. Now, for the 100% home marketing plan, we've also got the social media post. So I can post this to social media as a post. And I've got a short form video script. So there is a script right here. I can take this, drop it into my teleprompter app. I can learn it and then do a freestyle, which is the way I like to do it. I like to practice my script until I really got it internalized. And that might take a day or two, right? Which is good because once I've got this script dialed in, this is a script that you're going to want to do at least once a month. At least once a month, I'm going to want to run through this marketing opportunity with listings to leads to make sure that all the homeowners, let me get back to that. I apologize. Sometimes I hit something on my trackpad and my whole screen just blows up like that. So let me come back here to the listing presentation tab. And I think we were talking about, there we go, short form videos. And so what I was saying is, this is a video that you're going to want to do at least once a month. I want every single homeowner in my area to know about the 100% home marketing plan that I've got that was benchmarked on best practices across the country to top producers, and then incorporated into my marketing plan to make sure that we are always on the forefront of getting the most money for your home in the quickest amount of time possible for the least hassle possible. And so you can see that script, even just what I did right there. I haven't looked at this in a few weeks maybe, but I've got it so internalized that I don't even need to look at the script anymore. I just know I've got it, and I've got the tools here in Listings to Leads to back it up. So from there, let's go back to the main listing dashboard, because now when I've got to sell a lead, how do I prepare the presentation for their home in particular? It's really easy. Go to Add Listing, Manual. Now you have to add it manually. So you'll need to get a photo of that property. So what I recommend is when I get a listing presentation scheduled, or if I'm going to go to a property and I want to have a presentation for whatever reason, there are 3 statuses right here. You'll notice there's a form field called status, or it should say a dropdown. And when I click it, there are 3 different statuses that will give me that listing presentation packet. It is listing presentation, FSBO, for sale by owner, and I believe for sale by owner draft as well, and expired. So I can create these 26-page branded custom presentations, these listing presentation, the marketing module form, for a home that I got a listing presentation for, a home that is FSBO, so for sale by owner. So I've got there's a for sale by owner. Maybe you've already given them all the marketing tools they need to market their property with, but now I can also have that 26-page presentation for that. And I've also got one for expired. So if there's an expired home in your area and it is a key home, it's a home that you really want to list, not only can you use the expired marketing tools to engage that expired homeowner, same as a FSBO, but now when I got a chance to go visit them, or if I just want to do a drop off, I can create that presentation, that 26-page presentation, by just adding their home right here. And you'll see the same is true for all 3. Select the status, add their name, add their email, their phone number, and then everything else will be the same as if you're adding a regular listing. You'll add their property address for price. Notice how none of this is required. Even the description is not required. You'll just click save and add photo, add the photo that you got, or go to Google Street View, screenshot, take that photo and add it here. Otherwise, what I would recommend is go take a photo of their property and try to take a decent photo. So that way they understand that, listen, this is not a professional photo. This is not the photo that will be used to market your property, but it will give them at least a good representation, because when they go and they're in that presentation, they scan the QR code on page 15 and they are looking at their home, it's going to blow the world. That is when so many listing agreements get signed. And we have had agents winning their listing appointments for so many years by showing off what they can do with listings to leads. Again, a regular listing presentation, an expired or FSBO, which now moves into my next point, which is how many of you, oh, wow, good to see so many people still coming on, people coming in and out. But how many of you are going on 3 to 5 listing appointments a week? Because that's the next thing. Once you get really good at giving a listing presentation and going through objections and showing the marketing that you can do, and of course, you're going to do the CMA. You're going to walk through the property with the seller. So you're going to do, once you are dialed in, you get your listing presentation good to go. I want you to start using the listings to leads, expired, and FSBO modules. Now, if I go to listingstoleads.com and you go to either expired, right? Notice when I go to listingstoleads.com/expired, it's going to take me to our training on expired listings. Same thing with FSBO, listingstoleads.com/FSBO. We have got literally some of the best modules and training for how do I identify, engage, and convert expired homeowners and FSBOs into listings. And this is going to do actually a couple of different things. One is, if you go after expireds and FSBOs, you're going to be able to practice your listing presentation a lot more. These are people that want to get their property sold. Now, there's different ways that you approach them. There's different ways that you present yourself and that you engage with them, which we go through in our training. So here, these are for expireds. So we got the entire expired, we got the expired PDF guide module. So we got 2 different marketing, lead gen, and engagement funnels. One is using a landing page. The other is the PDF guide. And we will talk about identifying the homeowners, whether it's My Plus Leads, Vulcan 7, or you can even go to your MLS or Remind, right? There's a lot of other programs. There's a lot of programs that you can use, both free and paid, to identify expired homeowners. And then with listings to leads, whether it's the landing page or the PDF guide, between the e-flyers, the scripts, the postcards, the door hangers, the print flyers, the short form video scripts, right? All those tools that we've got, now we can engage these expired homeowners. We've even got scripts to go through that will help you engage with expired homeowners. And so the deal is, start talking to more homeowners. Now, if you got a listing and you're going to so-called prospect that listing, or you're going to call through your database to invite people to your open house, what have you, that's great. But you need to make sure that you're talking to more homeowners that are actually interested in selling their home, so that you can practice A, talking to homeowners in general, and B, presenting your listing presentation. The more I can get the more I can present my listing presentation to actual homeowners that want to sell, it's going to set me up to do better when I'm doing a listing presentation with a regular homeowner that hasn't listed their home yet, that hasn't tried to sell it by themselves. So you can see here, we're going to get into the landing pages here, and you can check this out, right? We've got a lot of great training on this, all the different tools. Here's the PDF guide right up. We're going to talk about the PDF guides. There was a video above this, but you can see, oh, look at all these tools that we've got that are going to help you engage expired homeowners. And here's the thing. For both expireds and FSBOs, we know they don't want to talk to an agent. When a FSBO lists, if you were to call that FSBO and tell them that why are you selling FSBO? Don't you know that selling as a FSBO is stupid and you'll get more money if you listen? They don't want to hear that, right? They don't want to hear it. So if you go to listingstoleads.com/FSBO, here's our FSBO training. And again, full on video, we'll walk you through. And we've got the FSBO landing pages. We've got a FSBO PDF guide. And again, we walk you through how to identify FSBOs. How do you get them to work with you? And then we walk through all the tools that the landing pages have to engage. So again, the print marketing, the flyers, the postcards, the door hangers, the emails, the script, the QR code, Facebook ad. And notice Facebook ad says optional. I personally wouldn't run a Facebook ad for FSBOs, but of course I'm going to just put that out there. So if somebody has an idea that they want to do, they can. But between FSBO and expired with listings to leads, you should be a couple of 3 deals a month. Easy. And especially right now with expireds, I would really lean into our expired training. Again, listingstoleads.com/expired. I would go through that. I would start creating your expired landing pages. The expired PDF guide is already there. And I would start calling through expireds. I would start practicing and getting good with my listing presentation. Obviously, the marketing module from Listings to Leads is going to be a big part of that, but you want to get good with your CMAs. How are you going to walk up? And literally everything with that listing presentation needs to be dialed in. From what are you wearing? How do you walk up to the door? How do you knock on the door? How do you walk in and greet the homeowners? So dial in everything so that when you go into that listing presentation, you are so excited, all right? Not in a giddy, shaky kind of a way, but that you're just so excited to be able to talk to these people about how you can help them get their property sold. And that confidence is not going to come through if you're not practicing. And then again, but you can't just practice your way to success. You got to start getting in front of homeowners and getting in front of homeowners that are either expired or FSBO, using the tools and listings to leads to both engage and help convert them. And then now you got more listings and now you got more practice presenting in front of homeowners. Now, as you're generating leads from listings to leads with the ads that you're doing and all the tools that you're using, now you're going to be even more confident and get more listings under your belt. So with that said, let me go to the marketing calendar, because if you are practicing your listing presentation, you're going after expireds and FSBOs. Now it's about just generating leads and engaging, following up, and setting up more listing appointments or working more buyers. And so you can see here on the marketing calendar for the week of the 15th or 16th here, right? As we're talking about marketing listings, yours or borrowed. That's what brings in the most people to your database. Marketing and listing yours or borrowed, cheapest cost per lead, best way to fill up your database. Some of them are going to be low hanging fruit. So they're going to want to do something sooner than later. And you're going to find that some of them have a home to sell as well. So there will be opportunities for a listing as you're generating open house or just listed or coming soon leads. So if I click on that, you're going to see I've got the checklist right here. A lot of people love these checklists. We just updated them recently if you haven't seen them yet. But I highly recommend, especially if you're newer, to click to download that checklist and open it up. And you're going to see here, we've got it broken out to social media free and paid, database and email, and then farm circle prospecting. For the social media free and paid, we're going to do an ad, a post, a short form video, and a social media post for the seller. And also we're going to do an Instagram/TikTok story. Let me show you this. And then there's also that step-by-step guide right here, similar to what we saw for expired or FSBO. But I'm going to select a listing. And again, this could be mine or borrowed. I always recommend doing an open house. Again, if you're not doing a listing a week, if you're not getting a listing a week yet, you should be doing an open house every single week. Every single week, you should be doing an open house. Now, if you are getting a listing a week, any listing you want to market is totally fine. If I click to market it, I got my overview. Here's my Facebook and Instagram ad. And you're going to see, just like what we saw before, it's going to autofill location. Oh, I ran the ad earlier. Yeah, actually, I ran this ad off of the dashboard a little bit earlier. That's why I went into that other But when I click here, normally it'll drop me off on the work area. There's Folsom pre-selected, special housing ad category. Again, all this is editable. A lifetime budget of $35. Start and end date. And again, this could be a video. This could be a different image. Let me show you, change template. So I can select different templates. And then even from within the templates, I got different versions. I got this version or the more square. Some people like this version. Some people like this version. It's really up to you. It's more of a stylistic thing. I personally like this version, the bigger one, but I got very smart people they like the other one. So it's really 6 of one, half a dozen of another. You can try both and see which one you think works better for you in your area. And then once you're good to go, which should literally be 5 or 10 seconds, right? All you got to do is confirm the location, confirm the text looks, confirm the budget of $35. Now, I do have a lot of people that up that budget from 35 to 50 or 70 or 80. I have people that do $100 a week on their listing. Because I've already signed up for AI text follow-up, that's going to happen automatically for every lead. If I've got it dialed into my own CRM, those leads will go to my CRM automatically. And if I got follow-up from listings to leads turned on, then that'll happen automatically. So I'm good to go. I got a social media post. All right, here's my social media post for all my different platforms. So X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google, that's free. If you're a listing agent, these tools right here, in fact, let me show you something. Let me go back to the overview, and I want to go to the view step-by-step guide. I'm going to show you something here. If I click on learn more. Now, this step-by-step guide here is both video and text. For example, this is my open house, and there's a bonus here, 7 ways to get listings after your open house is over with. And this is for people that borrow a listing as well. Even if you borrow a listing to hold open, how to generate seller leads after that open house. Here's a video webinar of how to market the open house all the way through. Quick little update about the open house sign-in forms. Got a major update. So good. I love them. When you have an open house, you need a sign-in form. The ones from Listings to Leads are amazing. This is our open house mastery. So this is what you do during the open house to convert all those visitors into buyers or sellers. It's one thing to market that open house to generate listings and buyers and get people to the open house itself. But it's a very another thing. How do I convert those people at the open house? How do I set up my open house so that I convert more buyers and sellers into listings and transactions? So the mastery does a great job of that. And then before the open house, obviously this is the open house marketing. So we just talked about the Facebook and Instagram ad. So that's there. Talked about the follow-up. I just was talking about the follow-up with you. I mentioned the social media post. So this is going in order of that list in Listings to Leads. Now this is not on that list. So Instagram stories. So when you click for the guide, some great examples, right? Got a poll. I can include links. So I can link to my single property website right from Instagram stories. If I come back to what I want to show you here is the tools for the seller. I'm going to play this. Let me know that you can hear this or not, but this is so good. I'm going to fast forward to the part where she gets into, so what she's going to talk about are the social media posts and the email that go to the seller. Sometimes I think people don't really appreciate these tools enough. So listen to what she says here about the e-flyer and the social media post for the seller.
Daily in our social media, and for every listing that we have single property websites that we're able to offer our sellers. They love that. And they're able to share it through their social media when they want to tell all of their friends about their house without having to share a listing from Zillow. They can share it directly from my listings leads direct to my website, driving interested buyers back to us, as well as interested sellers and neighbors who see that we're able to provide single websites for our individual listings in this manner. It's great. We've also used it just for topics, and
So I just want to show you that because these tools right here, right? And I'm telling you, someone's talking about Facebook ads. When you look at the checklist, let's go back to the checklist real quick. Hot, cold, Facebook ad leads are the coldest leads. Now it's a numbers game. I talk to people all the time. They get Facebook leads and they are converting them within a few days, right? And they'll get a listing from a Facebook lead. Facebook leads are it's a numbers game. Mark, how many leads have you generated? If you're going to say that every lead you generated is no good, then the follow-up is a problem, right? I wouldn't really believe that every single lead generated. I talked to too many people, and the follow-up, unless you're just in some crazy area, it's the follow-up, all right? So the leads, people are going to click an ad, they give a phone number, and I see an AI text follow-up as well. I can see the AI text follow-up throughout the system. Most leads, now they may say they don't want to talk to you right now. And it happens a lot, right? Somebody fills out a form, they just wanted the information. They don't necessarily want to talk to you right now. And that's where the long-term follow-up comes in. So that's fine, but you still follow up with them, right? Still keep them near long-term follow-up, right? Whether it's email or text or what have you. But yeah, no, it's just a numbers game. So I would tell most people, if you're going to sit there without knowing a specific situation, but just in general, I'm not generating any good leads is you're just not generating enough leads, right? So if you think about I would say for Facebook lead ads, it's about a 10% qualification rate that we're seeing. So we're seeing with AI text follow-up, about 10% of the leads will qualify, i.e. they're going to engage with the AI text agent and give a date and time. And again, that date and time could be the weekend, Saturday afternoon. It could be tomorrow at 3. It could be Friday after 6 p.m. But we're seeing about a 10% conversion rate to that. Really is about, are you generating enough leads to be able to have good engagement? Because if you're generating 1 or 2 leads a day, that's really not enough. That's really not enough. You need to be generating, I would say for most people, you want to be generating about 10 leads a day, whatever your budget takes to get to that. And that's why I go through marketing a listing for sale is the cheapest. Marketing pending or sold is the cheapest for seller leads. And then it goes up from there with the guides, the landing pages, and all of that. But anyways, if it's your listings, you just heard from one of our clients there, get these tools to the seller. Share and seller social media. All you do is you click the green button, add the seller's information, their email, their name, click send, and that will send this email to the seller so they can put it on their Facebook page. And that way the seller's friends, they see it, they click it, they go to the single property website. We have had people get dozens of free leads by sending this out one time to the seller. So all you got to do, again, social media post for the seller, click the green send to seller button, put their information in there. And then while you're here doing that one, just do the e-flyer. This e-flyer is something they can share as well. So you heard, right, via social media and email. When you do this for both of these, it's going to send the email to the seller and it's going to come from your email address. So they're going to think that you sent it to them. And what you want to do is you want to call them up. And I would say something like this. Hey, John, Scott, just want to let you know that we got the Facebook ad for your open house coming up this weekend or your coming soon listing or whatever it is, right? We got the Facebook submitted, should be live here shortly. We got the social media post done. We got a lot of other great things that we're getting ready to do. But I sent you a couple of things, one thing to share on social media and something to share via email to people because in this crazy market, we don't want to leave any stones unturned. And you likely know people who know people that want to buy in the area. So if you have any questions on putting that on your Facebook page or sharing that via email, let me know. Right? And the sellers are going to absolutely love it. Even if they're not on Facebook, I've had people tell me that their client, for whatever reason, doesn't do social media, but they shared it with some of the family members and they got even more leads than they were thinking because instead of just one person posting it, it was like 4 or 5 people from the family posting it. But regardless, do not get in the habit of trying to disqualify your sellers from getting this tool because even if they're not going to use it, they will appreciate it if you frame it the way I just shared with you. So get these tools to the seller, call the seller up. I just role played with you the conversation that you'll have around it, and they're going to absolutely love it. Now, we walk through the ad, the post, the short form video that's free, using it on stories. And so what you saw on Instagram stories there, you can do the same thing on TikTok. You can do, TikTok would be good. Instagram would be good. YouTube would not work because you have to do your short form video. Now, when you use the script, you can upload that to YouTube. So a lot of free and paid ways to leverage social media for that listing that you're going to market this week. And again, I would do an open house. And Mark, I would say also, dude, you got to go through and all the open house marketing tools and open house mastery. Like I've talked to too many people to know that if you just go through all of that and you do it, if you do it every week, dude, within 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to be getting a transaction a week. The more you dial in open house mastery with the open house marketing in particular, right? Just that alone is going to start getting you the buyers and sellers that you need. That's what, I don't know if you still got my video. That's what Dustin Fox did, right? 6 weeks for real estate success. He used the open house marketing tools and built his business from 0 agents, right? Him and his wife, he's now got over 40 people on his team using listings to leads as a marketing engine behind that. And again, with the open houses, the nearby homeowner letter, right? All of those tools to get that open house. And our open house mastery, right? Now he was in a lot of stuff before we even had that. He was using a lot of the stuff that's in our open house mastery. And that open house mastery will take that to the next level so that, again, people coming through your open house that you engage and convert more of them into buyers or sellers. A couple other questions here. Any chance you remember what day the calls import? By any chance you remember what day did you talk on the call about how to import listings from L to my website? Rod, no, I don't. I apologize. Oh yeah, I'll mention that a little bit. Yeah, for sure. Can we get lists acceptable to digitally farm through? Mark, if your question is, can I create an audience to market to in Facebook? The answer is yes. So whether it's your database or you go to My Plus Leads, Vulcan 7, RedX, right? One of those kind of platforms where you can go in and buy homeowner data. So any of that, yeah, any of that you can go to, let me just right click, open in a new link. So if you go to the ads page, there's a few places you can do this in listings to leads, but the ads page, so if you click on ads, create audience, and right there. So I can say follow boss, and I might just say December 17, 2024 seller list, right? And that way I know, where did it come from? What was the date that I uploaded it? I think it's always important. So every month or two you should be updating this. And then is it seller, buyer, or all? And then again, here's your format, email, phone number, first name, last name. Back to the marketing calendar, sold and pending. Now, if you don't have a sold or pending listing, you can market the idea we talked about, market the general pending or the general sold, whether it's yours or borrowed. Select it. Again, here's the guide. Here's the checklist. And when I click to market, again, guide, checklist, right? Keep that in front of you. When I've got a pending or sold listing, it's going to look like this. And again, these are the best quality seller leads for the money, right? What is your home worth? The PDF guides, those are all great. They're going to be a little bit more expensive. We have found that homeowners really respond when they can see a listing that's gone into contract or that's sold, right? Especially as it gets closer to where they live, it's going to be even more relevant. So here, it's already getting locations pre-filled. I got my budget. Now it's increased to $50. Seller leads are more expensive. Again, like I said, it goes from like $2 to $3, just say $2 to $4 on average for a buyer lead. It's more like $8 to $12 for seller leads. So always keep that in mind with the budget. You might want to even increase that to $100. Start and end date for a week. Again, I can change my template. And I always like the ones, especially if you got more pictures that show, right, X more pictures, so 4 more, 10 more, 20 more pictures. And so that's my preferred template. That way it shows a few pictures. One of the things I love about what Jordan Cohen talks about in his Agent's Edge, he doesn't want 3D tours of the properties. I don't even think he does property videos on a lot of them. And the reason is because people don't use 3D tours to confirm how much they love the house. They use a 3D tour to 86 the house, because then they're going to see, oh, that closet's a little bit smaller than I thought, or oh, that second bedroom looks too small, right? Or oh, that door looks really weird because it's in a 3D tour and I can't walk into a house and fall in love with it. And then once I've already fallen in love with the house, now that door being a little bit weird, or that the closet that might be a little bit small. Now those things aren't so bad because I've fallen in love with the house. Whereas if I'm doing a 3D tour or I see a video, that can set me off. And so I really like, and I totally agree with them. And that's what I learned when I was doing real estate was even on a $4 million house, we would only put in 15 to 20 pictures at most. You're thinking a $4 million house that has 6,000 square feet, 7 bedrooms, 8 baths, 2 living rooms, 2 kitchens. You think you could put 50 to 100 photos, and you could, but my lead agent would still only put 15 to 20 photos because he said, I want the best photos. You don't need to show 3 different versions of the bedroom. I don't need to show every single bathroom. In fact, he wouldn't even put in, unless it was the main bath for some reason, but your second and third bathrooms, he wouldn't even put them into the MLS. Why? Is the second bath going to make someone want to buy your property? No, it's not. So using images as a marketing, right? When you think about marketing, what marketer would put in the third bathroom and with the toilet seat up, or an image of the inside of a closet? Those aren't marketing images. Those are kind of images that are going to make someone look at it and go, oh, I think that closet's too small. So anyways, getting a little bit off track here. My point being, we want to market pending or sold listings every single week, whether they're ours and even as a buyer's agent. So if you're a buyer wanting to contract on a listing, you can add it to your listings to leads account and market that. And we've had people do it and get listings from that. And obviously, if you're a buyer or seller agent on the just sold. So if you're the selling agent, your buyer bought it, or you're the listing agent, you want to market it. And then lastly, on this point, I will mention, this is when you don't have a pending or sold listing to market this week, then you can, what I call borrowing, but it's also maybe a better way to say is market a pending or sold and list in general. And by in general, what I mean is, instead of saying 786 Douglas Boulevard, Granite Bay just sold, which might be a normal way of saying that, you could just do another home on Douglas Boulevard in Granite Bay just sold. And then when you see my ad, it will actually make sense here. Instead of showing a particular listing on Douglas or Maple or whatever, I'm just showing some properties. But I still want that message out there. I still want to be associated with listings. Because if you think about building your business, nailing that listing presentation, getting in front of as many homeowners that want to sell as possible, i.e. expireds and FSBOs, and then start marketing so that I can generate lead to come into my pipeline that I can engage with. These are people that I don't know if they're buyers or sellers. I hope they are, because they click on an ad or they came in somehow, but it's the expireds or FSBOs that I know want to sell. So I want to get in front of those people to practice and get some quick listings coming in. But then as I'm marketing listings for sale, as I'm marketing pending or sold listings, these are going to be the next best ways to start building that medium and long-term pipeline. Make sense? So again, just click create ad. And I've gone over a little bit of time here. I apologize. Let me just mention a few more things here. We've got the social media post. We got the social media post just like before. All right, so we can get that posted. We can either click post now or schedule it. Because this listing, I'm not the listing agent. I don't have the tools for the seller, but I've got the nearby. Let's go down here to the short form video script. Here's my short form video script. I got the ad, I got the post, I got the video, and I can even obviously do an Instagram story, similar to what we saw for the open house. And then lastly, from the marketing calendar, we got the PDF guide. This week, we're looking at the seller guide, 25 factors to impact your home value. We got Thursday, 100% home marketing plan and new construction. All of these have the social media components. So we got the guide, the checklist, and then if I go to, and this is a great place to end, because this is exactly what we were looking at earlier, right? When I was talking about getting that 100% home marketing plan out, This is the general one. So this is the ad. Remember I talked about video views, using a custom audience, right? $1 or $2 a day. Notice the other thing different here is it's not going for 1 week, it's going for 1 month. We got the Google ad, the post, and the short form video script. And I would go through all of these. The Google ads can be a little bit different because that's $20 a day. But I would do the ad. I would keep that running just every month. I would just refresh that ad. The post, I would do that once a month. Today would be a great day to get that out the door. And then again, I would do that video, right? Do that video every single month. Learn the script. I would internalize it. And then I would try to get that out the door again every single month. So any questions? Rod, give me a second here. Yes, the recording will be available. If you go to the marketing calendar, where we were just at a minute ago, you'll see there's a couple of tabs up here. There's presentations, and then there's resources. And under resources, Tube, and if you click on YouTube, you will see our YouTube channel. So all the webinars go here, and typically they're going to be, you'll see right up here. This is digital, I guess. So maybe go to playlist and current webinars. This thing is so annoying because I don't know other people, but here you go. Current webinars. See, there's a playlist down here. Why it comes up at the bottom, I have no idea. But here we go. Get started, Facebook, top tools, getting started. And they got Instagram, the mastermind group, and so on. And one last thing, my farm Dominator. So if you don't have a listing to market this week, there's 2 options. Oh, let's go to the listing page. Now you can use your own IDX in listings to leads, which I'll show you that as well. But if you go to add listing, my farm Dominator, and you can type in a location. So let's say Folsom, California, and I can say property type, and I'll say 3 bedrooms or more, 2 bath or more, minimum price of whatever it is that you want to do. And for sale, hit search. That will search, and you get up to 20 listings. So even if you got 10 listings in your account, you can add 20 more through this tool. And what will happen is that will drop all of those listings. Now they'll be in your account, but the idea here is that you can also either market those listings individually if you got permission, or because a lot of people, you can market a list of properties without permission. When I go to my more tool, your agent website right here, if I click view, first of all, this agent website is awesome. When I go to listings, using this URL, I can market now all of those listings that are in my account, right? So coming soon, all right? So these are all the 4 bedrooms in Folsom, right? Or whatever it is I got. Notice now there's a lot of other things here as well. I got my client reviews, my PDF guides, my video review, my regular reviews, 100-point home marketing plan. And this is all customizable. I can edit this and add to it if I wanted to, right? Another video. I can take this link or your IDX. And if you go to ads, what I'm going to show you is how do I market either my IDX or a group of listings together. And so if you go to create Facebook ad custom, so I might say Folsom homes for sale. And I might say K 3-bed. I'm going to do a lead ad. These are buyer leads, right? Or you can change it as appropriate. And we'll be done in 2 minutes. Because the only thing I need to show you is drop that link. So this could be your IDX. Now the text and image may not be what you want, but it's fine. Attention. All right, just to show you, changing the text. You got your headline, your description, and change the photo, right? I can change the photo, grab one from my library. Worst case scenario, I would just use an image that would be appropriate. And if I want to, you can grab another listing image from Listings to Lead, create a listing image in Canva, wherever you want, but upload whatever image there. And again, that could also be your IDX. If you got an IDX link to a list of homes for sale because you don't have a listing to market this week, then do that as well. And that's completely acceptable. But the deal is you want to have an ad out there to pull in new leads, whether it's your listing, a listing that you're borrowing, right? Preferably to hold an open house this weekend, and or your IDX link. So any one of those three would be great. Everybody, listen, thank you so much for keeping with me. Most of you, 90% of you stayed on the whole time, so I appreciate that. If you have any questions, let me know. Get in the mastermind group. I can hang out here for a quick minute. Any questions from me before I let you go? Rod, thank you so much. Amber, awesome. Mark, the email received, good. Yeah, and it's how sellers, if you call them up with something along the lines of the script that I gave you on that little role play with the seller, they're going to love it. And you're going to love it because now they're marketing you on their social. And if you did the just listed, and then you did an open house, let's say, and then the listing went into contract, and then when the listing sells, those emails and those posts go out every single time. And imagine the seller's friends. They see, the first time they see a post on their friend's page, maybe they click it, maybe they don't. But then they see another one for open house or maybe pending, and then they see it for just sold. Now they've seen an entire story being told by somebody they know and probably trust about the success that they had with you. And you can't even buy that type of success. So not only, Mark, will it be well received, but that if you use it, and it's all automated, once I turn it on, it's going to go out automatically. And as the seller is posting that or sharing that email out to their sphere, they're telling a story about you, right? It takes a little while to get told because it's got to go from just listed to active to open house to pending to just sold. But when that story is told, it's a beautiful thing. So with that, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.